Hello and welcome to Golden Rings Angel Card Readings. Continuing on our readings for the life purpose and career for July and August 2017. Today I'd like to look at Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I'll be working with a few different decks. The Archangel Power Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And the Angel Tarot deck by the same two people. And then I pulled a life purpose card from Doreen Virtue's deck. And I also have pulled a card from Healing with the Fairies by Doreen Virtue. Hope you can see that without the glare on it. Just a little note that I have done all of my praying and calling in my spirit guides off camera, so that for right now, when I do your readings, I can go straight to the interpretations and spend a little more time there, and that way you're not having to sit with me when I shuffle sometimes for 30 to 40 minutes to get the cards that I really feel apply to you. So let's go ahead and get started. And remember that this is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, for your life purpose and career. And that would be for July and August 2017. Okay, so the first card that I pulled was the 10 of Ariel. And then in the middle, I actually had two cards jump out of the deck. And interestingly enough, they are the 8 and 9, even though I spent a lot of time shuffling. So how they managed to get stuck together, they just are meant to go together, and I'll get into that in just a second. And then on the far right, we have the 7 of Gabriel. And then for the second row down, on the left, we have the 5 of Water, Queen of Fire, and again, 7 of Fire. For the energies coming to us underneath the deck, we have Magician. I'm sorry, I always go the wrong direction there at first. Such a lovely card for life purpose, Gemini. We'll talk about that in a second. And Page of Fire. Again, very lovely duo for underneath the deck for creating and for life purpose and career. Okay, so first things first. When I pulled this reading and took a look at it, something that's interesting is the fact that in both of the far right-hand corners, we got the exact same card. So it's not like you could get a stronger message for what they're trying to say. This would be out in your, if the left-hand side represented things that were just passing out, and the middle represented things that were a present moment or coming into play, then the right would be things that are in the near future. And I mean, two different decks and the exact same energy and card. Okay, and so let's take a look at this real quick, and I'll show you what I pulled, how I see it, so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. So we have let's see if I can get this out a little bit better. You've got the 10 of Ariel, and then you've got the 8 and 9, because we had a jumper card, which was the 9 that jumped out on top of this 8. And then we have the 7 on the top row. This is what they look like. And you can see that this card here, the 7, she is heading straight for these two cards, right? Look at it. She's heading straight at them, okay, with her energy and her ability to have passion about what she's doing. And then your bottom row here is a 5 of Water, Queen, and then the 7 on this bottom row. Okay, That's what I'm looking at when I see the 2. So just passing out, we have the 10 of Ariel and the 5 of Water, which are sort of at odds here because the 2 cards don't energetically necessarily match up, except to say that this card here is about positive achievements, fulfilling financial things. It talks about a very happy family life. It talks about finances being strong. And the thing about this card, though, is that right below it is the 5 of Water, which is traditionally known as the 5 of Cups. So let's talk about this for a second. The 5 of Water is a card where there is some sadness and a little bit of challenge attached to it, but only because it has an energy of you looking backwards to something that made you sad that's in your past, that's not necessarily represented by the 2 cups that are still standing or the beautiful divine energy light that's coming down from the top of the card. Your focus is down here on this, and yet this is what actually is in reality remaining. So either, from the looks of this, if I were to look at this energetically, the text on the 10 of Ariel says this is there's very much to be grateful for: financial success, the promise of retirement, a rich and rewarding family life. Okay, so here you have this really positive card up top showing that something went right in your career or life purpose. But for whatever reason, it didn't feel as emotionally rewarding, maybe, as it could or should have, and maybe that surprised you. So maybe you got something that you wanted, or you achieved something, because also this is a 10, so it's a gateway card. It's a culmination of the 1 through 10, which means, you know, you would eventually then start over again at a new higher level. And so there seems to be something here that shows achievement, but underlying that achievement, it didn't bring you the emotional satisfaction or joy that you were expecting. Maybe that was unexpected, and therefore it led to some regret or sadness, but most of the time this is regret or sadness over a past issue and not over the present of what's happening. So it's called kind of like the spilt milk card, where you're just focusing on the wrong thing. It's a fear-based card, and it's a card where you really want to change your attention. That's what the message there is. But as I said, it sounds like there was something emotionally that was not quite right about the energies for your career and life purpose. I also say that because the middle card on the top row is the 8 of Raphael. And this is another cup card, but not only is it another cup card, it's another cup card of dissatisfaction. Only this cup card is emotional sadness and regret from something in the past when you still have cups standing. And this cup card is the person is turning and walking away because it's just not emotionally satisfying. Okay, so if you haven't already, you might have the urge, or it might be coming in soon, that if this was really not satisfying, if whatever went on here that we thought was going to really get going for your life purpose and career, and it wasn't fulfilling to you, there's something emotionally that just isn't okay with it, this is showing you actively turning and walking away. This is not a card where something from the outside comes in, happens, and forces you to turn away. This is a card where you yourself have everything going, and you basically decide that it's just not emotionally fulfilling, that there's a discontent there and it's not working. Now, the cool thing about this is that the jumper card that we had was the 9 of Raphael, which came out just right on top of it. I set this card down to turn it over, and this card came out right on top of it, like this. Okay? The 9 of Raphael is the genie. Look at this. There's a genie on the front of the card. Okay? And it says, make a wish. dreams becoming reality. So what I take from this is the clear message that if you were to turn and walk away, which is a risk, let's face it, if you have something started, or you're looking at a new job, or you're looking at a new career path, or you're looking at a new life purpose path, emotionally something that you want to go and invest in, or spiritually that you want to go do, it is challenging to just turn and walk away. But this card is saying, look at what happens when you do that. I mean, it's saying that when you're ready to look at doing this, this is what's on the other side. This is the flip side of this. And so how cool is that? Because most of the time we don't get something that tells us if we turn and walk away from something, there's going to be an obvious, definite payoff. Or, and when I say payoff, it doesn't always mean monetarily. It could be payoff spiritually. It could be a payoff emotionally, which let's hope it's a payoff emotionally, because emotionally seems to be where you are struggling, right? This seems to be the struggle is in two emotional realms, and then this seems to be, this seems to be what's waiting for you when you do something about this, okay? Do something about it. It's going to be okay. Whatever it is, it's going to be okay. I mean, you couldn't get a stronger card there for energies coming to you. Below we have the Queen of Fire. And remember that queens, it's not if you're a male that you need a king, and if you're a female you need a queen. All of the energies are whatever energies you're feeling at the time. So this could be somebody in your life, or this could be you yourself, and these are the qualities you possess. Confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. And the text on the card reads, stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. And see, the thing here is that maybe this financial gain or happy family life or thing that's in the realm of Pentacles here did not bring you joy like you thought it would, because emotionally there's something lacking. And this card is also saying that the reason it might be emotionally lacking for you is because if this is you, you need the passion and the creativity. So if the passion and the creativity are not there for whatever new job you might be going for, or if you're staying in a job and the passion and creativity is not there, or if you're beginning a new venture, like a new business venture, and there's no passion and creativity, if all you're doing is staying in it for the financial or the support that it gives your family, or the security that it might give to you mentally and emotionally, it's not helping. And this card here is saying you are way too passionate to be sitting back in a career or life purpose that does not suit you. And so now we get to these, and of course this really says it. This just screams it. So, Seven of Fire and Seven of Gabriel. And the text on both of these is the same, which is stand up for what you believe in, have confidence, claim your personal power. Okay? Choose your battles wisely, stand your ground, defend your beliefs and decisions. So, you may come under some fire here for wanting to move in a new direction that's not as stable and secure as where you were, okay, but is emotionally more fulfilling for you because there's passion. There's passion in whatever this creative idea or creative energy is coming to you. And this is saying on the flip side, that there's some serious, really good abundance coming your way if you can get out of this negative space, right? This negative space. So the stuff on the bottom of the decks, right, as the basis of your reading or underlying energies, we have the Magician, which is just, you have the ability to manifest anything that you'd like to right now as far as energy goes, right? If you were asking the universe, hey, I want to create this new thing. I really want to start this. What do you think? This is a card of successful new beginnings. This person has everything at their disposal to create, yeah? And then this card here is the Page of Fire under this deck. And the Page of Fire is about some kind of new endeavor or idea coming your way. It's either you having a new passionate idea, or it's news of an exciting new venture with another person coming in to give you this news, or it's news that you hear about. But basically, if you look at this card, the energy right here is an energy of something just percolating right here below the surface for somebody to use. So if we're looking at the bases of your reading, you've got the Magician and this Page of Fire. So you've got new energy coming towards you that you haven't had yet. It's passionate, it's new, it's good news. And then you've got the Magician, where it's saying successful new beginnings, anything you want to create. So as far as like an overall message for you for career and life purpose, there's some very strong energies here if you can get past the emotional vacancy that you're feeling right now. And it's not always easy to get out of that. I mean, you have to be passionate and ready to get out of that. But this card here is kind of showing me that that's there. Either you're going to meet somebody that's going to pull you out of it. Look at all this fire. Check this out. Let's look at it this way. Look at all this fire. This is all fire. Even though this card doesn't have the red like the other card. They're all fire. You've got the two cards that are identical. You've got the Page and the Queen. And they're all really saying the same story, which is that you are ready for some passionate, creative, new ideas. And once you get these ideas, you may have to walk away from something that doesn't bring you joy anyway in order to get the flip side, which is this Wish card. And once you do that, you might really have to defend your ground for what you want to go after. Okay? But the energy here is very free-flowing, and it's very strong, and it's very favorable. So over the next 2 months here, if you would like to make some strides in your life purpose, or if you would like to make some strides that have to do with your career, you know, there are so many strong cards here, and really the challenge cards, this one's coming out. It's a vibe that's leaving, so you may already be dealing with it. And this card, even though it's coming into play, you're actively going to feel like walking away. It's not one of those cards where it's not like the Tower or something comes in and then you have to walk away. This is you walking away because you want to, and also you've got this payoff on the other side that's kind of amazing. So, I mean, certainly if you were contemplating something, if you were trying to ask, is this a good time to start something new? Or is this a good time, since I am feeling a little burnt out and not as creative, is this a good time for me to try to go after something new? Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah. Right? So I pulled a card from the Life Purpose deck, and the card that I pulled for you for Just Life Purpose by Doreen Virtue had to do with children. Now know that that's not, just because you pull a Life Purpose card and you have all these other cards, that doesn't mean that it will have to be working with children. But it does say on the text, your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. So in case you were headed that direction, let's say you already had a successful career set up doing something else, and you wanted to switch over and start involving children in something that you were doing, or teaching or healing work, then this card right here is saying that, you know, this is definitely something that you possess that you may not know you have. It doesn't mean that you have to utilize this. This is not like set in stone. You have free will, right? Anytime we get any of these cards. But what it does mean is that if you hadn't considered this as an option, you should consider it, because pulling it means that it's an energy there for you. Also, if you're dealing with problems with this, with letting go of anything, or with looking on the bright side, or with starting to do something different, when you get a children card in the life purpose, this can also mean that working with children, whether this is your next career or whatever, focusing on children, helping children, teaching or healing would actually bring you a lot of joy. So even if it's not the big idea, even if it's not what you have in mind for the new beginning, and even if it's not this, creative, passionate thing that you might have to stand your ground on, what the angels are saying here is that this aspect of yourself here, focusing on children, would still be something that's joyous for you and really helpful over the next couple of months. So don't discount that. From the healing with the angels, we got a very simple card, but so important: laughter. Laughter. So, Gemini, you don't want to discount the fact that when we're trying to make, career is very important to people. Career and your life purpose, is a very important thing, right? We're all striving to find our way in this life, and we're all, because we spend so much time at our careers, we're all trying to find something that's meaningful, that's got meaning, and we're trying to find something that if we're going to spend that many hours at, has not just a financial payoff, but an emotional payoff, a mental payoff, a spiritual payoff. And it can be challenging. It can feel challenging. It can feel scary. It can be a situation where you really have some fear about trying to embark on something different and do something new. And this card is a reminder not to take everything so seriously, that it might be better for you if you find the humor in situations. If things get too intense, don't forget that it's, there are choices. Everything's a choice. Everything's a daily choice. If you're trying to go after something new, it can't be so serious where it's just do or die. If this doesn't happen, it's this. This is a reading for the next 2 months. 2 months after that, I'm going to come on in September, and I'm going to give you a reading for September, October, and we're going to check the energies then. It doesn't mean that it's a cycle that's a do or die. And I think that card is really important, because I think it's just a card that just lighten it up, right? And I need this message as much as everybody, as much as Gemini. Every sign needs this message, right? That's why I thought it was a perfect message for this reading. There's a lot of fire here, which means there could be a lot of tendency for, passion, anger, like if it really ticks you off that people aren't listening to you, and you're feeling really passionate about everything that you're doing, you're liable to get a little bit overdone on stuff. So, try not to forget that there are these gentler cards here too, showing you what can bring you joy and what can really work for you to also bring in some gentler energies for the month. You've got some passionate energies for the month coming in. Strong energy. Everything's kind of coming at you, or it's there for you to pull in and utilize. Well, these two cards are your gentler energy that you can, healing energy, laughter energy. You can see on the difference of the cards too, on the colors and just the vibe that they give off. So overall reading here, it looks like there was a certain something that was attained, maybe something you're already in, did not bring emotional joy. Maybe that was a surprise for you, a little bit of a regret, looking back instead of looking at what remains. This passionate feeling, or a person coming towards you that has these things that gives you some counsel on this, and ultimately deciding that emotionally you need more creativity, so you're going to turn and walk away. Or you're going to feel like turning and walk away. Remember, this is not like you definitely turn and walk away. This is the energy behind this card, is that you are going to feel like there is not enough creativity and passion in your career and life purpose, and you're looking to turn and walk away and start over. Totally cool news for you, Gemini. Flip side is the wish card. This is the genie in a bottle, make a wish. So don't be shy. Make a wish, right? Make it count. When you get this card, right? If you're going to walk away, get clear on what you want. And you may need to spend some time, right? Breathing and kind of meditating and going on a walk and asking your angels and your guides and God and anything else that you need to get clear on what you wish, so that when you do walk away, you know what you're walking towards. Okay, that's kind of important. Coming into the future here is very strong, passionate energy for whatever it is you're about to start doing. If you want the energy behind it, this is not a burnout energy. This is a push, which is cool, because when you want to do something different sometimes, it's nice when you have the energy to pull it off. As the basis of both of these card decks, we have something new coming towards you, new kind of energy and message or person, along with the Magician, which is a card of really strong, successful beginnings, and the fact that you have the ability to create magic in any way that you'd like to. Then at the top of these decks for you in gentler energy, we have a reminder that children focuses very prominently in your energies for the next couple of months. Maybe healing or working with them will be a kind of a soothing thing, if not the thing you choose to do. And lighten it up. Don't always make it so serious, so that you can have fun with it too. Should be an exciting new time for you instead of a stressful time, and you want to make sure that you can have fun with that and enjoy it, because how many times are we going to get the wish card, new things coming towards us, the Magician behind us? I mean, if that's not going to happen very often, when it does happen, let's remember to take a second, smile a little bit, and say, all right, this is nice. I've got some new energy here, and I've got some new ability to create some things I may really, really like in the future. What a great reading. I had an honor doing this reading. I will be back in September for September-October Life Purpose for you. And if you'd like to leave me some comments in the section, let me know how it goes along. I'd love to hear from you. And until then, love and light always. Thank you so much.